Sorry, but they never did that for this finally, so.
It is now.
I'm the engineer.
Yeah. Just, you can wait, oh goodness.
I love it. It works every time.
Or 6 feet.
For some people. We got this. That's your half. All right. These new microphones are pretty loud, so we're going to make it. If you are here for the item on the agenda, the public hearing on item 6A, that is going to be a no action item. There was no appeal filed, so there's no need to stick around for that. There won't be anything done. There's nothing for us to take a vote on. All right, that said, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. I've asked Councilman Brown to lead us in prayer and pledge.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for all that you've given us. Thank you for your many blessings. Thank you for the freedoms that we have, Father, and that we were able to celebrate this past week, Father. Continue to be with us. Give us all open minds to do the work of the city. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, if we can have roll call, please.
Lamar,
Here.
Shropshire,
Here.
Bradshaw,
Here.
Rashiers,
Here.
Graybill,
Here.
Trammell,
Here.
Brown,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
We do have a couple of petitions from the audience tonight. I think we're going to start with Jesse Bell. That's you. Come on up. So you'll have, just a reminder, you have 5 minutes, at which point we need to move on to.
Sign something?
No, that's just for, there is an attendance sheet. If you come, we like to have a good idea who's here for the minutes. You don't have to sign it for, no. 5 minutes, the council can't answer or respond. We can just listen to you and.
My concerns are this super loud fireworks after 10:30 at night in the city limits that sound like bombs. My windows are shattering. It's loud, and I think it's okay to have the bottle rockets and the fountains and things like that, no problem. But the incredibly loud ones are disturbing to the babies, to the animals, and everybody else. I just want to talk about that, and I want to know what the city council is doing to help with the youth in this city, because things are closing down. There's no bowling alley, there's no pool, there's no, when I was going to school here, we were very involved in high school, and I don't see that anymore with the youth. So I was just curious to find out what the city council had planned for the youth. That's it.
Come by and we'll talk.
Okay.
All right, I've got Amanda Dotson.
Jeannie and I are neighbors. We live over past the apartments on Mabel Clayton. We have had a drainage issue. She's been there 17 years. I've been there 15. The water that comes off of the fields behind us runs between our houses. It doesn't just drain there. It runs so fast, it's like,
swishes
yes.
between our houses.
It stands against my brick home, about an inch up on my brick. I've addressed it several times,
Is this,
to no avail. Yes.
okay, you can pass that down a little.
My concern is when it comes down between our homes, it comes over the sidewalk. I've had 2 people fall because that sidewalk gets mossy and is very slick there. 2 people have fallen there just walking, or I don't feel like that would be my responsibility if somebody got hurt on that. I think both of us would like to know if there could be a retaining wall put up, some kind of draining system to keep that from coming up so high into our yards and up on our homes.
We don't really have to get very much rain for rain to be standing in my back southwest portion of my yard. Now, this has been going on ever since I've been there, ever since I've lived here. And I have talked to mayors, and they have come out, they have taken pictures. I'm talking about over the years, you know. And each said, we'll fix it, but it won't be a quick fix. Well, of course, it has not been, because I've been there almost 17 years. And Amanda and I have been very concerned about this drainage problem. So,
Thank you.
that's all, I guess.
All right. And Dale Jones.
Yes, I live on Lock Street, just south of 9th, and behind my neighbor, just south of me, in the, I say alley, there's a great big low depression, and when it rains, it fills up, and mosquitoes are horrendous. We fight them all the time. This year, we fighting them inside our home because they're so thick. I went to, years ago, I've lived there for 14 years, and years ago, I went to Streets and Alley to see if they could fill it in with dirt or something. And Streets and Alley said it wasn't an alley, that it was a utility easement. And so I went to MUB, and they said it's not a utility easement, it's an alley. and I tried for several years on some of this. You cannot go in my backyard. When I mow, no matter how hot it is, I have to put on long sleeve, heavy shirt and pants and spray so I can mow my yard. And it's been 14 years. And I've talked to anybody and everybody that would listen to me, and they said they were going to do something about it. And like last year or year before, two guys came out and looked at it, and they commented about the mosquitoes that looked at the depression. And so far, we still got the depression and all kinds of mosquitoes. And anybody welcome to come to my house, but they have to wear short sleeves and shorts. And they can check out the mosquitoes. I thank you for your time.
Mr. Mayor?
Dale, real quick, I want to let you know. Dale, that project has been awarded. It went out to bid, and we're waiting on the contractor to come do it. Should have already been there, so it's already been awarded. And I did bring the big bag of mosquito dunks again to your neighbor. Joy.
That is a utility easement, not an alley.
It's all right, it's coming out of your budget. Okay, all right. I think that's all we've got for petitions. Let's go ahead with our department head reports. Let's kind of fly through these tonight. We got a long agenda. Emergency management.
Mine's short. A couple of months ago, we talked about FEMA requiring cities and counties to have pre-pictures of your streets, alleys, bridges, buildings, and all of that. We discovered something a couple of weeks ago when the State Emergency Management Office was downstairs, and we, as the county, have been doing this for years, but we have flyovers done countywide. The resolution in the city of Pryor is higher than anywhere else in the county, I guess because the tax base here is more, be my guess. But anyway, the resolution is so good for the flyover pictures that we get for the city of Pryor, that is gonna satisfy our requirements.
Wow.
So we do not have to go out and hire somebody to take all these pictures and keep up with the videos, because we fly over those, over the city every 2 years, and that is constantly updated.
But,
But I'll let you tell the other part, but
thanks. I wasn't kidding. Yeah, so what is it again? It's
it's called pictometry.
Pictometry is the app, and I went down, we looked at it, we discussed it. To get access to that for what we need, MUB pays it, we would have to pay, county has their share, but it would be $5,000 a year for that. But more than just that, it has all kinds of school zones, district boundaries, everything that we
Every
need.
address, floodplains,
Yeah.
everything in the city is all on this mapping program.
Hannah's used it, she's familiar with it and said it was fabulous, and so that's something that we'll probably bring to as soon as we get something from Yolanda to get that.
Yeah,
Get that
which should come pretty soon.
So that's what we're
But
gonna
it's,
do.
but it's gonna satisfy everything that we needed for the city. Any questions?
All right. Chief Young?
We're just doing the best to mind our manners, because we made it through the 4th of July on a weekend with weather and everything, and we didn't have a crazy weekend, so everything, they had some calls here and there, but it was a pretty smooth weekend, so we're just happy. That's where we're at. Y'all have anything for us?
No, we're good.
All right, thanks, sir.
I'm gonna give the update on the golf, real quick.
Dennis is out there.
Oh, is he out there?
Yeah.
Dennis, come on in. I didn't see you hiding out there. Sorry, bud.
Morning, everyone.
Howdy.
So, over the last 34 years, I've served the Pryor Creek Golf Course. It's been one of my greatest privileges. My history with this community and this golf course spans multiple decades. It's been over half my life. I'm almost 65, so I've worked 34 years at the golf course. So, it's been a lot of fun. From 1980 to 89 was my first time I was here, and when I left the golf course as a superintendent, it was in the best shape it's ever been in, and it had money in the bank, and so I left on a really good note. And after a period of being away, building other golf courses and managing them, the park board come seek my employment and wanted me to come back, and at that time, the golf course was in very bad shape. You know, temporary greens, it was in, you couldn't even call it hardly a golf course sometimes. Grass in the bunkers, so, but we were able to turn it around, and it's in very good shape right now. It's got more money, almost $700,000 in the bank. It's incredible shape. Now, it does have its challenges. You know, we got hit by lightning. We've had a bunker rake. I've talked to the mayor about that. We've had a lot of issues out there. So, but some of that stuff's daily issues. But but I'm grateful for the wonderful people who are able to enjoy the golf course and all the great relationships we've had over the years out there. It's been crazy, you know, all the people that's come up to me, and it's like one big family out there. The people out there are just, you know, the golf business is the best people in the world to me, you know. So we just have had a great time. But with that, I'm leaving the golf course. Today will be my last day. It's in great shape, and I thank y'all for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dennis, I want to thank you for your time that you've been with the city, along with your wife, who is standing behind you. You know, I think you have done a lot for our golf course. Your wife's done a lot for that pro shop, and we appreciate the both of you. And
Yep.
wish you the best of luck and excitement in the next chapter, whatever that holds for you. So to that, I'd like to give both of you a round of applause.
You know, it takes a strong woman to deal with all that. So you're a strong woman.
All right,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Carrie?
I emailed you my fancy little graphic for our statistics, and gave you the full fiscal year, so from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Our numbers are really good. We had a 5% increase in our physical checkouts and a 25% increase in our door count. We didn't have as many library cards created this fiscal year as we did last year, but that just means that the people who already had library cards are really, really using the library. And other than that, summer reading is in full swing. As of today, we've registered 624 people, ages 0 to however old the oldest person is in there. So, and that is the highest number of summer reading registrants ever. We also have, to your comment about kids, today we had 2 programs for kids ages 5 to 11. That is scavenger hunt for dinosaurs. Tomorrow we have story time twice. Thursday we have a Nerf war with the teenagers. So every week during the summer, there are 6 programs for kids.
What did you say, under 4?
0 to 4 is story time on Wednesdays.
Okay.
So every week.
Just tell Autumn the next time she does slime as a craft that I'm sending my kids to her house with them.
No. That's why we do slime and glitter and finger painting and all that stuff, because you guys don't do it at home, and we get to have the mess and then send them to you.
There you
So,
go.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you for your summer program and also housing the food boxes. Are we still doing that?
Yeah, right now we're getting 360 every week. We got our shipment yesterday, thanks to Terry for helping us unload every week. I think we have 40 left today, so we have given away 320 or whatever.
And
that
just so the
number is.
public knows, are there any restrictions to that? Do you have to register, or can you just show up and get?
No, we just need, the food bank has some restrictions, so, if you're picking up for your children, you can have the kids not with you. We just need a grown-up name and a kid name for every box you pick up. If you're picking up for your neighbor's kids, you need to bring those neighbor's kids with you. But there's no income requirement, there's no background check, there's no nothing. We just need names, and then you get your boxes. And it's 5 breakfasts and 5 lunches in each box.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Great job with the kickoff, too. You and Autumn did great.
Thanks.
Good.
Frank, Parks and Cemetery.
Well, between the rain and storms, we just either mowing, working trails, or picking up brush. But on that note, it's being busy. About time you get caught up, you know, a big storm would hit and wash out the trails. But as part of it, I guess it's my 3rd week in a row where I've got one of my guys on vacation, so kind of been doing everything we can. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So just mowing and trying to keep on the grass and fixing trails. Cemetery's been pretty busy. Luckily, they didn't actually have much tree damage. Fairview didn't hardly have anything, and then Graham had some branches, but we're still dealing with park stuff. But other than that, not much going on, really, just.
I have a question. On the tennis courts and the pickleball, when do we estimate the lights to be able to, do we know?
I have no-
Mayor, do we know?
So we got the door, finally got the door on. And then we've reached out to the party that's gonna do the inside. And we've gotta get the walls put up so that those electrical panels can be installed. The framer has been called, the ones that are donating the materials have been notified this afternoon, and the electricians have been waiting patiently.
So that's all connected with the,
Yeah, the lights.
The lights will be inside that building on timers, so.
do we have like a schedule once they are turned on? Like once the electrician's done, do we have a schedule of?
I always usually have it it varies throughout the year with the hours of the sun. Usually I have them go off at 10, At one time, it used to go later, but those LED lights are bright, and with the neighbors, I have them go off at, of course, you have to turn them on at the pole, but power is sent to the pole, and at 10, the power goes off. If I'm requested, I know they're doing a big tournament or something, and may want them on a little bit later, then sometimes I'll adjust it, and then, but yeah, it's usually till about 10 o'clock when they'll go off.
And we've talked about possibly the idea of like a temporary, but like, so if somebody wants to come and play. The one thing we want to be really careful is the houses that on Irving that back up to that, those get pretty bright, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Frank, the willow tree that's there next to the new concession stand, I noticed that the top of it's dead. Are we thinking about taking that one out? They're on the creek, or out by the tennis courts.
The willow tree by the
Oh,
bathroom.
yeah, we got two or three trees that we.
Yeah, I noticed that,
Yeah,
went
the
around
willow
by there,
tree.
and I thought, holy crap, if that
Yeah.
falls over on our new
Yeah.
building, that's,
You know, we missed this when it's kind of like when we done the tennis courts, we took that tree out before we done the building.
right.
That big elm that's right by the new toy we just installed,
Mm-hmm.
we were half up with the toy, we're like, oh, man, we should have took that tree out, but that one, we got two,
Yeah.
for sure,
I
Whitaker.
just noticed it this morning, or
That's-
this evening, whenever I came by there, I didn't realize it was that,
It's just a matter of getting time.
Okay.
That's what got us with the storm. It took the oak across the
Right.
street, took two big, nice, healthy branches down and didn't even touch the dead one.
yeah, I noticed the dead was still up in there.
Anyway, yeah, that's.
All right,
our
thank you,
list.
Frank, that's what I need to find.
Thank you.
Hey, Frank, out at the cemetery, I know that some of it was damaged back a year ago in that June tornado, and some have just been
Yeah, we
fallen
still
down.
got a bunch of trees there to.
Right, but that's not,
Oh.
but the street signs, can you get your guys to put what's the
Yeah,
plan for putting the
um,
street signs back up and make
Yeah,
it?
I need to find new, probably starts looking at different poles and
It's the brackets
adapters.
where-
Them things ain't the ones we used, are getting, there's
Okay.
newer versions out there that are better to use, and a lot of that actually. I'll ask him what he uses. and-
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Police and Animal Shelter, Chief Cantrell.
There you go. So I can address the fireworks. They are illegal now per city ordinance, so July 1st through the 4th, they were allowed to shoot them, but now they can, the officers, you can call the police department. We've been running calls like crazy on that. I've been affected myself. I was trying to sleep last night. I could hear 'em, pow, pow.
While you're talking about that, can you in about 15 seconds explain city ordinances versus the Rockets Red Glare Act? So that there's no confusion.
So the one is a state ordinance, and so city ordinance can restrict that to points, which ours is pretty similar. So it's really no confliction there. It was already in place prior to that. I think for the last 2 years, it's been like from July 1st through July 4th. So that hasn't changed. Like I said, we did calls picked up July 5th. We've been running calls since. So the officers go out. It's been all over town. They've been running calls, so.
I actually called last night.
Yeah, so, and I could hear them last night in my house. It was, been off somewhere close. We're,
Most of them live
Since
in
you
the county,
actually-
so we're,
correct.
Yeah, since you brought that up, I would kind of like to piggyback on what you said. These are not pop bottle rockets. These are not those Roman candles. These are very large explosive devices that they're not shooting in their yard. They're putting them over houses. I mean, I had one go off over my house last year that knocked 2 pictures off the wall. It was that bad.
Correct, and a lot of, they can illegally get, those Class C or whatever fireworks where they're not supposed to.
Well, that was going to be my question. I was actually going to call you this week. Can we, as a city, still ban certain types of fireworks within the
Correct.
city
Absolutely, we
limits?
can.
Yep.
That's a-
There's a difference between the commercial and the residential.
That's a simple amendment to our ordinance.
I think we need to look into that.
So it is an issue. We are addressing it. We are taking calls. Hopefully it stops pretty soon. As far as the month goes, we had 461 traffic stops, 25 accidents, 35 arrests. Code enforcement has obviously picked up because of the rain, and now the grass is growing, and so that's an ongoing issue with the rains and things. Freedom Fest was hot, and then the storms hit. Luckily around town was mainly tree damage. We did have some power poles go down, and So it's about 70-mile-an-hour winds. If anybody was up watching, it was pretty crazy. Luckily, everybody got in and was safe out there. And so there was a hit and run at Pryor Creek Apartments the other night. A guy, we believe is intoxicated. He hits 6 vehicles before taking off, goes around the building, gets out of his vehicle and takes off into an apartment. We're still looking for him. We are pretty sure we know who it is, but finding him is what we're doing. We do have his truck to get to the police station, but it did tear up 6 vehicles in the parking lot that day. And we went back and got some video camera from a store he was at and saw what he was purchasing. So we've got a pretty good lead on that. The new range, we actually started qualifying. When I took over, we started doing qualify twice a year on all firearms that we carry. This was the first time on the new range, and appreciate Bruce's help in getting it going. Everybody that had a hand in it. It's really nice. It was very hot, so I was down there on Monday morning about 9 o'clock, and I was soaking wet time we were done qualifying. So, but it's going to be huge for the law enforcement in the northeast part of the state, and we still got work to do on it. But it's really nice. If you haven't had a chance to go out there and look, you can see it.
Is there a shaded area or anything?
We had canopies up, but and that Connex box is a little shade, but other than that, it's right out in the sun on concrete.
There are plans to eventually move the pavilion from the old one around. So
Yeah, and we're gonna get that. We did have a big swamp fan or whatever it is from the old police station that we took over, and it helped somewhat keep it cool under the canopy. But it's huge for us and for the northeast part of the state. It's good for all law enforcement to be able to use. And then Junior Police Academy's coming up next week. I think we've got about 20 kids in that, so that's this is the 3rd year in a row we've been able to do that, and it's very good for the kids, the community, and gets the officers involved with the kids. So looking forward to that, trying to get that ready for next week.
Jeremy, back to the fireworks, were there actually any tickets written or just warnings?
I'd have to go back and look. I just pulled the calls this evening because I had a complaint about it, so I was kind of pulling the call log and was kind of going back through it from, I think it was Sunday I was looking at, and I know we probably had 10 calls just in that 2-hour span. It was overlapping shifts also, plus you've got other calls coming in around them, so, and then you're chasing around, but I'd have to look and see as far as citations issued.
I think it might do us some good to put something out now that we're past the 4th that kind of separates the city ordinances from the state regulations. Because the confusion could be for somebody who's not plugged into what we're saying on the daily or the weekly that, the Rocket Reticular Act basically gives unrestricted allowance to fireworks every day of the year. City ordinances, like Chief said, can restrict that down to a certain time. So there might be some who thought, well, hey, I can do it anytime, but we need to, probably from the city, put something out, maybe from your office, Chief, that says, here's the difference, and no, you can't.
Yep.
But
No issue with that.
New Year's Day and New Year's Eve are legal.
Correct. Animal control, she's not here tonight, but they, are busy as ever, like they typically are. Animal goes out, 3 come in. They're running dog calls all the time. They had 95 animal calls in the month of June, which is, we average probably the 70 to 80 mark, so it's a little higher than typical. So they're staying busy for sure. Any questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mike Moore, Rec Center.
Good evening, everybody. So we're in the middle of the summer, obviously, and cruising right along. We're maintaining just over 2,000 in membership. We dropped just about 10, but we're still at 2021 last month, so that's good with 110 new members. And the Cherokee Nation membership still at 509, so over 500. So we've been at that 2,000 mark 8 out of the last 12 months, so holding steady. And our retention is low 70s, averaging about 71, 72% on a 90-day time frame. So we're not in too bad a shape there. We're 12% under budget, so we're doing well in that category, and we're cash flowing. We had 13 pool parties last month. We're entertaining 120 kids in swim lessons this summer, so that's the largest crowd we've had as far as I know. Jackie's staying busy over there, so and lots of kids in the pool, obviously. And we're just getting out and about a little bit. We attended the Mays County Health, the Family Fun Day a little over a week ago. We hosted GRDA back in early June. And then we've been doing some life jacket Fitting GRDA's funded that again this year, $1,000. We gave 23 away last month. We've got next Wednesday was a giveaway day. And so we'll, we promoted that. And kids and moms and dads come in, and we'll fit them and give them their jackets right there for free. So that's pretty much it for us. Any questions? Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Mike. Buddy Glenn, Street Department.
Short list tonight. With the rain, we have had a few problems with our drainages, trying to get down some of them and get them mowed, but eventually it'll dry up when we get down there. Weed eating spraying, we've been on double time with that, especially sidewalks and stuff downtown. West of town, I don't know, it's like a fertilizer we putting on, I don't know why it's growing. But, and of course, we had, guys come in Saturday night, they had four big trees down, we pushed them out of the way. Come back Monday morning, cut them all up and hauled them off. I don't know, something I was gonna put on with you all, I know, hadn't had a chance to talk too much with the mayor about it, but we, a little bit about it. Mace County, or I guess Pryor, whatever, wasn't declared a disaster. I don't know if something, we want to go around picking up brush after this storm. Gonna get y'all's feet on it, but we gotta get them, try to notified, somehow where we can start getting addresses instead of driving all over town. I don't know if, put it on there to get a hold of whoever your councilman, or whatever's in your ward, and get addresses to, or we don't even wanna mess with it this year. I mean, there's a few out and around through there, but I mean, they're not just totally like we had it a couple years ago.
I'd be okay if they just email me. I mean, or if you guys want to take those emails and send them to me, and then I can forward that to Bud.
That'd be fine.
Then you're not getting inundated with.
Yeah, 'cause what I like to do is all this next week, I mean, starting tomorrow, whatever, then all next week, give them a chance to get everything cut and bring out front, if you want to do that, and then the week after, and then we'll go around the hall for that 1 week, and then once that 1 week's out, then we're done with the brush then, so.
Make sure sorry, buddy, make sure you tell them in your wards that we will not go onto private property.
Yeah.
We won't go into your yard, so that has to be on the curb.
And what's the length?
I mean, we like them around about 10 foot long. I mean, that makes it easier for us to load. And also, please don't stack anything on any gas meters or water meters out front of your house if you got them out there. We run into that one year where we was going and picking everything up, and next thing you know, we found gas meters, water meters and everything in the ground. So that wasn't a good deal, but,
When you guys also know the difference between, storm damage and somebody just trying to get rid of a tree.
well, that's another thing we run into. Sometimes they'll say, you'll have a bunch of dead ones out there, and you can tell that they were cut. Anything off a tree, I mean, you're gonna have a breakage that you can see, and a lot of it, they'll trim their backyard, they'll wait for things like this to have it and bring it out, which, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and argue with nobody over it, but, it's just something we have to do. I mean, we've done it for citizens for years and years, it just kinda helps out there. Some people they don't have trailers, or they can't afford it, or me, myself, including elderly, we can't do as much as we used to, so, yeah, that's something, I mean, if we want to do that, and then, like I said, we can give them all till, what day would be, today's 7th to was that 15th, or whatever that would be. But anyway, we'll talk about if they want to do that, but get some addresses, so we're not driving it up and down every street. Drainage, there at Parkin 69, the one Bruce, he pointed it out. That thing, it finally gave up. It rusted out, and there were some pieces that was breaking, falling off. So we did a new drainage, so it'll be here forever. So the way we built it. So spread sand across City Hall. I need to get with the fire department. They said they'd come down and water it for us, so we can throw that grass seed out there and get that going. We worked on some alleys in between. Had call-ins between Elliott and Lock Supply. We went through and graded those and added some gravel. Yeah, we're gonna start doing some, milling on asphalt streets. We ain't gonna no more milling, so. We're redoing another drainage there at the top of it at Southeast 15th Street. I don't know if anybody drove by there and looked at that one. for whatever reason, 15th Street seems like it has more water than the rest of them, but what we done at 10th Street seemed to work, so we're gonna go to 15th and do the same thing. We got it dug out and set up. And as soon as we can get some concrete for that, we're gonna pour that one, and then make our lid. Our sweeper, throwing some codes, we don't know. Had a guy come by today, and he said more than likely, we're probably gonna have to take it to Oklahoma City, drive it down there, and they said they would make sure that they would get it back for it. But the only way to read these here is the code things that they had brought down portable, did not read what's going on with it. So, I don't want anything to tear up. By using it, sometimes you can shut it off, turn it back on, the codes will go away, but then after a little bit, then another one will pop up. So I don't know if it's just some type of sensor or something, maybe very easy, but it's still under warranty. So, because this is an ongoing thing that we've had with that. And other than that, I mean, still, pothole Fridays when we get a chance, and we got pouring another section of sidewalk on Irving Friday. So that 99 Irving we was talking about, so we'll finally get that done, so. Other than that, staying busy, just hopefully the rain hold off just a little bit longer.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anything?
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yeah.
you're okay, buddy. I just wanted to bring this up to kind of, since it's street related, and to address the ladies that left here a while ago. But the city does have an engineering plans for several phases to eliminate and to mitigate all that drainage problem up in that area around Clayton Road and back in there behind.
Correct.
It was done back at the end of Mayor Trammell's term into maybe Mayor Lee's term in several different phases, and phase 1 and phase 2 have been done. Phase 2 was the one that we went in and did the big concrete ditch, what we call the Nunley ditch. But the other phases, there's probably, 3 or 4, 5, 6 phases yet to go on that. That's gonna put retention ponds and everything back in there. But again, it's gonna be, when we find the money to do it, and the estimated cost back then was into the millions of dollars. Who knows what it's gonna really cost into the future, but there are plans for that, but it just needs to be looked at for funding and when that can be done in several different phases.
Yeah. And remembering that, I think you can attest that North Elliott corridor, sorry guys, up where you're at, was originally designed to be a city drainage corridor. That was way before all of our time, but that's what that originally was for. So some of that water, the city was early engineered, was designed to go that way. So we're gonna try to get it. We're gonna try to get it.
But there are plans, on those plans, there's retention ponds to the east of their neighborhoods where they're talking about, but it's gonna be up to funding for that in the future.
Okay, thank you. Hannah, city clerk.
I put my reports in front of you guys. I'll just go real quick over them. May financials were distributed, and we're working on prep for the new budget. Exciting, exciting. In human resources and payroll, Lisa continues to work with time and labor, and open enrollment was great. The final collective bargaining agreements have been updated in Paylocity. In community development and code enforcement, we've got a lot of new businesses that's been contacting the city regarding occupancy of existing buildings. Contractor licenses were due in June, so we've got a lot of payments coming in for those. Code enforcement remains very active with cases involving lots of high grass and weeds, trash and debris, and dilapidated structures. We have several properties that are scheduled for upcoming abatement and dilapidation hearings. Staff has processed and inspected in the end of June, 5 fireworks stands and license applications during that time. Planning's underway for implementation of the Just FOIA public records management. Jay will get that going in this quarter. And staff continues working on city departments to update inventory records and surplus listings. Shauna is on it. In court, we've been training, and Donna identified opportunities to improve the processing of the no insurance citations, and the procedures have been updated, and there are no tort claims to report. Hallelujah.
Thank you. All right. A new one on the list is Pryor Main Street.
just pass them
We'll
down.
just pass
That'd be
them
easier.
Well, she's passing those out, those that are wanting to know why Main Street is on there. The MOU that we recently signed, part of the responsibility that we've requested from Main Street are regular reports that she's about to give us.
So just to start off, thank you for having me. This is exciting to have my first official report to the council. I'll start off with streetscape. I actually did have a meeting with Kimley Horn today. It was a little impromptu. They gave me a phone call to see where we're at with everything on that. We have met for the 100% approval plan with ODOT. However, they are currently doing a 60 to 90-day assessment for a potential downtown road diet. So we're kind of, again, at a standstill until that assessment comes in, and then we can move forward as planned.
Can you explain what a road diet is? I don't know what that means.
So there's different variations of what it could be. One that we are potentially looking at is going from 4 lanes as is to 3 lanes with a center turning lane. That kind of slow traffic a bit downtown. Obviously, it helps with the businesses being more visible, making it safer, more walkable. As I've stated many times coming to this council, if you walk downtown, sometimes you are taking your life into your hands, and we want to make sure that that downtown is safe for everyone, including pedestrians especially.
So let me chime in on that real
Absolutely.
quick, because I've kind of ringleadered that one. And one of the things that this road diet will do is it will not only slow the traffic down, you know, it's kind of a racetrack, and if you get somebody who sees all green lights, they're, you know, pedal to the metal and try to beat them all. Or they, you know, they're racing from light to light. This would actually save the city in the long run because the plan would go to alternating stoplights or alternating stop signs instead of stop lights. Those stoplights all have to be repaired. You're about $500,000, $250,000 to $500,000 per intersection. So in the long run, we're looking at saving, you know, $1 million+ on lighting. Plus, we spend about $40,000 to $60,000 a year to TLS, traffic light systems, when they have to upgrade a bulb or whatever it is. All of those just keep, the older they get, the more the expense is. But this will also allow traffic to move more efficiently because we're now getting rid of waiting on somebody to turn. We're going to give a 14-foot center turn lane. So all left-hand turns will be from that turn lane, meaning it's going to be just like Claremore. You pull up to the stop sign and you go. And so we're really hoping that you know, ODOT originally came up with this idea, and we kind of were like, nope. We all about lost our minds when they said, let's get rid of all the stoplights. And we were like, are you serious? But when we sat down, we looked at it, we figured out that this would actually move traffic through more efficiently at a slower pace and would ultimately be better for our downtown. The other side to that is, until we get the engineering drawings back for exact, we're guesstimating that that's going to give us about 4 to 6 foot extra on the side of the road, which will take some of that parallel parking now to a diagonal parking. So we want to try to get rid of some of that parallel parking and add more spaces.
Add more spaces.
I'll say that one more. We're going to add more spaces. So hopefully we'll add more than we're taking away. So it'll balance out.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. Any more questions on that? No? Okay.
Will the final decisions on that be made by the city council?
Ultimately, yes.
Okay.
So facades, and some things going on there. If you were downtown today, you'll have seen several new awnings going up for some of the businesses down there and some of the property owners down there, for beautification and also aesthetics, and then also keeping those business fronts a little bit cooler as it's heating up, and once again, more walkability, making some shade spots along the sidewalks there. That funding we do get from the EDTA, so we're thankful for their partnership. We've also had some bids come in for a mural to go on the west side of 8th South Adair. So that's just waiting to be awarded to help make that alleyway more walkable as we see development there. We want that to kind of be a walkable entrance and opening into downtown, so more to come on that. We are also, hopefully by next week, we should have estimates from contractors for the facades on 111 East Graham and then also on 216. And that should actually be West Graham, not East Graham, so my apologies there. As far as downtown beautification, several of you were involved in our downtown cleanup day, which was fantastic. We had 120 volunteers downtown to help clean up. 500 of those large contractor trash bags and trash picked up, alleyways cleaned up, weed eating. That all needs to be done again, honestly, because, you know, here we are. There was some mural cleanup and also a new mural installation that went on the side of the dance studio there on Graham. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, please do. We are going to have an official unveiling of that mural for Weekend of Local, which will be the 17th, 18th, and 19th of this month. So come down and have some fun with us. We'll have some food trucks, and you know that's also a promoting Shop Local weekend for us. And then, and then we also have plans for more downtown mural installations and some help with some state coming in and giving us some advice on how to do some appropriate public artwork downtown to make it more viable walking space, walkable and placemaking, someplace where people just want to be and want to hang out. Graham Community Building, we finished the bidding process for that, and those have all been awarded. We are still finalizing the budget now that we have those bids in and still negotiating on some of that. So there has been a little bit of work done, but you can see somewhat of a rendering of what at least the ceiling part will look like in that building. It's going to be a beautiful space. As soon as the social media hit with this picture in particular, we were already getting phone calls of people wanting to rent that space and to lock that in, and we hadn't even started construction yet, so that's exciting. So, you know, what was it, a little over a year ago, I think the council had put it to the EDTA, and then with the help of Main Street as well, with the EDTA, to make that a economically feasible space for the city, so we're excited to see that come to fruition. Some business recruitment and retention. Earlier this spring, I was one of the representatives that represented Pryor at the Red River Retail Show, where that was a learning opportunity on how we can better market and recruit for Pryor. That was a great experience, and I appreciate the opportunity to go to that. We have developed a downtown building business / vacancy inventory that will be uploaded to, it's called Locate OK, which is a state site that will help people or investors go to that site to see what is available and where they can possibly plug in and bring more business to our downtown. We're also working with Northeast Tech to create basically a business academy for a lot of our downtown and our entrepreneurs to help them be more sustainable and make sure that they are successful in their business endeavors. And outside of that, we're still continuing to promote the public and private investment for downtown on local, regional, state, and national platforms. That's just a small snippet.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, Bridget?
Yes, sir.
The Red River Retail Show, the EDTA funded that
Yes, sir.
trip, didn't it? Who all represented the city at that?
The mayor attended, myself. Originally, Adam was supposed to as well, but he had a conflict, so wasn't able to attend.
And do we plan on attending, or doing that again annually, or?
We're looking at one in October in Chicago.
Okay.
So
Good.
kind of have to look at them and see, like, as they pop up, whether one is, you know, amenable for our needs or not.
Obviously, we wouldn't go to New York or Las Vegas. That doesn't fit our demographic, but, you know, the more regional ones like in the Midwest and the South, it makes sense.
I know you had mentioned several times to me that you got a lot of good ideas.
Oh, man, listen,
to that.
that was one of the most informative 8 hours of what since I've been in office, we've learned more about what we need to do, what we need to come to for economic development for the city. In fact, that has actually spurred the inception of, we're trying to look at a marketing program through the EDTA. We're looking at different things for franchisees, developers. It's helped us kind of work with, and that was all in 8 hours. And so
Yeah.
we do know that
A
Pryor's
round
on.
trip, but
Yeah.
we went down there kind of thinking, well, this is how we'll market Pryor, and then we came back with a completely different idea and see how it really works. And it was definitely a gainful learning experience.
A lot of solid contacts, so. And I told Ricky Hayes hello.
That's good of you.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So, all right, thank you, Brittany.
Thank you so much.
It's good to build bridges at those events.
I was doing everything I can to say, hi, Ricky, look, I'm here. All right, moving on, consent agenda. Are there any items that you guys need pulled? I want to pull item B.
Which one?
B as in boy. If there's no other, can I get a motion for A through K less B?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Brashears and a second from Trammell. You can call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Item B is approved claims for purchase orders through July 7th, 2026.
Motion. Second.
I have a motion from Choi and a second from Brashears. I've got one here that I am not inclined to pay that was purchased on the city Visa card. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for your guys' approval to work with Darla, Lisa, and Hannah to recoup the $1,094 that this purchase was for. And this was for a PGA membership.
What's the date? What was the date of the purchase?
The purchase was the invoice was due June 30th.
Okay.
But it is for July 26th to June 27. And seems that we officially no longer have a PGA Pro, I don't think that's $1,000 the city should encumber. So I'm going to ask for your vote to work with Hannah and Darla to recoup that.
Have they already been? Or is this?
No, this is for a private,
Annual membership.
well, it's the certification to be a PGA Pro. And since we don't have one anymore, I'm not inclined to pay for something that would benefit private individual.
So are you all willing to amend your motion to approve all of them except that one?
We've already voted for that. This is.
No, we haven't, I need you guys to vote that it's okay for us to not pay that and me to work with.
I'll amend my motion.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll amend my second.
Call for the vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Item 5, Mayor's Report. Item A, discussion and possible action regarding the nominations for council president. This change would take effect following the announcement. As most of you know, let's have a motion and a second.
Motion.
I have a motion from Brown,
Second.
second from Bruce. A couple months ago, a week ago, last month, I asked for nominations for the committees and for the council president from the council members. Those were all sent to me individually and blindly to each other. And last week, we did the nominations that were given for the committees and for the council president this week. And that would go to Lori Bradshaw based on those votes. So we would need to take a vote to accept your guys' nominations for that position. If there's no discussion, we'll call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, and on that note, I do want to thank Terry has served in that 3 years now. You've done a great job. You have done very well. All right, discussion and possible action regarding the announcement of the creation, this is kind of an exciting one, the creation of a Citizen of the Year program and the creation of a citizen committee to be led by Councilwoman Lori Bradshaw.
Motion.
Second.
All right, you got to be faster.
Yeah.
I got a motion from Choi and a second from Brown. So I'm going to let Lori talk about this one. This is, go for it, Lori.
So, basically, this would be something very similar to most cities. I think a lot of cities in the area do a Citizen of the Year, so it's I kind of got some things, I got to use my old English teaching skills to kind of work through this. And so we're asking 5 other people from the city, plus myself. I've gotten three yeses, 2 still haven't got back to me, but I'm pretty sure we have a yes, just from different realms of like somebody that's in ministry, a business person, somebody from the hospital, just all kinds of different people that might fit in to be on this committee. We are going to run this from July 15th, through September 15th. We'll take the nominations. Jay worked with me. We have the survey ready to go and roll. We just need to get that all put together so that we can start publishing this and putting it around towns with a QR code and things, but we'll put it in the papers. And as such, the team will get together. We've got a rubric that we've created. I've created that we need to kind of look through as a team and tweak that we can use for all of the nominations that come in. And then the goal would be at our council meeting on October 6th to be able to announce that here at our council meeting and with the team here and have a Citizen of the Year potentially. And I haven't talked with things that could be something that could be fun for like at the parade, Christmas parade, perhaps, Citizen of the Year can do that. We can have some other things, get some local businesses and things to maybe have a nice little treat for the Citizen of the Year. So it's just kind of still in motion, but hopefully by the 15th that will be out and ready to roll. It's kind of exciting.
Where could they look for that?
We will have that we'll put it around local businesses and towns and kind of have a little, with those plastic brochure covers, have that with the QR code on there with the description of what to do. We'll have it in both the papers. I would like to have it on the website if we could. I think that's a good place to have it. Also kind of we can do some Facebook posts and things to promote that and communicate that out. So, which we'll use some of the people on the committee we'll probably divide some roles and conquer as we have our first meeting in a couple weeks, once I get those last 2 yes confirmations, so.
Any comments?
Wonderful.
I think it's a great idea. I also, just for when we go through the budget, you will see a line. What did I say?
Wait, I think $800's.
$800 for that, so that we could pay for some kind of plaque or whatever, any publications we need to make. And then we'd also talked about that when we have our music festival in October, we will bring that Citizen of the Year on the stage and really showcase them. That's where we'll present them with their award. The chamber has agreed that they would allow that Citizen of the Year to be the grand marshal of our Christmas parade, possibly be the one that throws the switch on the lights on downtown, kind of let this person be somebody that really stands out. And so what are we looking for?
Well, the requirements would be they have to obviously live or work in Pryor, and the contributions for the city have to be unpaid and beyond their normal job duties. So I'm not looking for people that are getting paid to serve in Pryor. And then recognized for volunteer services that benefit the Pryor community. Those are kind of the 3 main things. And on the nomination, when you're nominating somebody, those are very clear on that we aren't going to even look for somebody that doesn't fit those criteria, those 3 major criteria. So this is very similar. I looked at a couple of different, the mayor had sent me one that he had, and then I looked at a couple of others and kind of just took them and made what I thought would fit for Pryor, a city our size, so.
All right, well, thank you. If we have no further discussion, we can call for the vote.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
Looking forward to seeing how that works for our community. That'll be awesome. All right, item C, discussion and possible action regarding the Park Board's recommendation to rebrand the Pryor Creek Golf Course using the new city branding effective immediately.
So move.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion from Lamar and a second from Brown. Listen, we put the effort into rebranding the city with the new city logo. We're not changing the name to anything crafty or out of this world, but we are looking to go to the City of Pryor Creek Golf Course with our new blue and gold crest. Keep it very simple, but I think now is as good a time as any to implement that rebranding as we start to see changes that'll take place at the golf course. Park Board was 100% on board with that, so. Further discussion? Okay, call for the vote.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Let's go to the addendum. Sorry, that microphone is loud. I don't mean to yell in it. Discussion and possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $36,845.28 to Cassell LLC for annual maintenance and support, 7/01/26 through 6/30/20, should that be 27? I think that should be 27, so we'll make that a Scribner's. From general software account 02-201-5260.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion from Choya and a second from Brashears. Discussion? Okay, call for the vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding the street committee's recommendation to alter the intersection of South Elliott and 29th Street, or 510, or the curve, or down there by the dispensary, or whatever you want to call it.
So moved.
Motion from Brashears,
I'll second.
second from Choya.
Board got it.
That's all right. It's too quiet.
So, Bruce, I'm gonna let you talk about this one. This was your idea, so when all the complaints come in.
It was my idea, my fault, be either one.
Hey,
I've already got one constituent friend that's against it,
Is that your daughter?
and that's Drew. But Drew and I never agreed on anything anyway, so it's nothing different. The curve at South Elliott going to Nypack Road to 510 has always been a problem for everybody. If you're coming off, out of work from the south, between about, probably 4 o'clock to 5:30, it's a solid traffic jam at the stop sign. And they're having to stop and wait to see if the cars coming towards them is gonna go left or gonna go straight. And there's several honkings and screamings, and there's been fist fights in my driveway, and there's just a problem. If you're coming from the south, looking back on the curve, if you got any kind of vehicle at all that's a truck or anything, it's hard to see. You can't see around that curve. So our discussion was to shut that curve down temporary, do a detour, shut the curve down, remove the stop sign there that's going north, and open that, because they're backing up in the daytime, that time period, they're backing up all the way to Pryor Creek Bridge. So the people that's getting off work is having to sit in line and go, and they're irritated, and they're mad, and they're dodging people coming from the curve and coming at them. And hopefully this will make it a lot more simple, and hopefully it'll work. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna pay the price because I can't get out of my driveway. But hopefully it will spread out the traffic, that they won't have a backup and a screaming and hollering and honking and carrying on. And I think the people getting off work will appreciate it. If it doesn't work, we can redo it. But this is the cheapest thing. The signal lights was discussed one time. Now, Terry, wasn't that like 480,000 for some signal lights?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so this is the cheapest way to try to see if it will work. The only problem is that they're gonna have to come from, well, I guess it's not a problem, Elliot, off 510, when you're coming from the east, you'll have to stop at the stop sign to get onto Elliott. Well, you do the same thing at 13th Street or 14th Street, and it intersects Elliott. So I'm hoping this will happen and work. This discussion and the question is the speed. They're afraid people are gonna make a speedway out of it. Okay, That's where the PD's gonna have to come in. We're gonna have to they're gonna have to put up some signs, and the city, the street department can put up signs. We've got warning signs and get people used to it. You know, because right in front of my house, it starts at 30. South of there, it's 45. But I don't think you'll have near the congestion. We'll see. Like I said, if it doesn't work, we can take it all out.
Will this affect any residences?
The only residence is the woman across the street in the curve, and Buddy's talked to her. Is Buddy still out there? Did he run off? He's tired.
There you get the one on.
Surprise.
But they're gonna figure out a way to let her in her driveway. Possibly make her driveway cut across the diamond there and go to 510 or go to Elliott. But Buddy's talked to her. She's in agreement to do it.
Is that Mrs. Cox?
Yes. So, I'd like to see it try it and see if we can make it work, make it easier on everybody. If it doesn't, we won't lose anything.
So it'll be temporary?
Temporary, if it works, we'll make it permanent, but
How much would it cost if it was permanent, if we could make it permanent? And my second question is, isn't there companies that do traffic flow studies?
Yeah, we did one through, when we did the light at 9th and Elliott.
Have we ever done one there at the?
We didn't do one there.
Curve?
The one at 9th and Elliott cost us about $12,000.
yeah, I've done your study for you for nothing.
I think
I
it's
sit
just a
there
habit.
every day and watch them.
I'm not for the curve. I think it's dangerous, but I'm worried, and I told you this, I'm worried about the speeding. So, yeah, we're gonna need law enforcement. to,
Right
like,
there's a man that
really
can cure
up
all that.
Chief, you got any input on that?
No, I agree, I mean, that's everywhere in town as well, so the speeding issues.
We can put our speed trailer out there for a while.
And I think you're gonna, I mean, it's gonna be congested enough right there, people can't speed too much. I mean, because you're gonna have especially school time, school traffic and everything else, kind of slow it down through that area. I mean, it's obviously a problem. I don't know what the whole answer is, though.
Well,
I
I know
mean, you
people
could
are
just-
mad getting off work and they've been at work all day and they're stuck in traffic right there for 30 minutes trying to get through that. Wondering if somebody's coming around the curve or wondering if somebody's coming at you, is not gonna signal and hit them head on. There's only been 2 serious wrecks in 30 years there. But there's been a whole bunch of customs and hollerings every day. Because I've seen that too, and like I said, they've been fighting in my driveway before, but I'd like to try it, see if it'll work, make things better. If it doesn't, we haven't lost it.
I mean, I used to drive that every day when I first moved back here, and then later on with a box van, and yeah, you cannot. But why don't you just, if we decide to do this, why don't you just make it 30 miles an hour right when we hit the city limit line? Because it's already gonna be 30 as it goes forward.
The city limits is south of my house there at 510 and Elliott.
Mhm.
That's dead center, that road is city-county line. So they're at 45 there, but when they come by my house, right in front of it's 30.
Yeah, well, but I mean, when you're coming in, it eventually goes down to 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by the time it hits Park Street, it's 30.
When you hit the city
Yeah.
limits, yeah.
Yeah, so you might as well just keep it at 30. I mean, people are gonna speed anyway, and that's what they're for.
I know this intersection's been a discussion for a long time. Bruce, when I was sitting down there, Drew, it was probably on a discussion at some point when you were sitting in that chair. That seems to be the chair that recognized it. We brought it up at the time in 2017, and I think that I think the comment from the police chief then was, we haven't had any accidents there, so we don't need to do anything. And I requested that we put that cross-traffic does not stop sign up, and that helps, but I'm with, anybody that drives a vehicle that's slightly large. Hang on a minute. Hang on. The problem is, and Kenneth said it exactly, if you're in anything bigger than a Toyota Camry, you have no visibility to your right over your shoulder. And not everybody does what's expected to turn on its turn signal, and you can't watch the turn signals if you're looking for a car that's flying around that corner. So, my comment back then when we brought it up was, that's great that we've been reactive to it, but I would rather be proactive. We know that accidents are a potential there now. I'd rather be proactive and at least try something that's not gonna cost us anything. We've got all the materials to do it, the blockades with the reflective paint and the beads on them, so they'll be visible. We've got the signage that we can put up, so I'd really like to at least try it. Do you have a question, Nina?
I do.
Can you come up to the microphone?
I'll do that.
Even though we're not in public hearing, I'll let you, I'll give you a
Thank you. I just had a quick question.
Put the timer on.
Does the city own that triangle? Because I know that they didn't years ago.
That's a loaded question, not on your half, but the answer is, that is a MUB site, so.
Okay, well, back
You can
then it
answer
was
that
it
how
was
you want.
privately owned. And so a previous mayor, a previous
Yeah.
mayor said
It's
that
cities.
nothing could be done there because that's a privately owned.
That's not true.
Okay,
Satisfied.
that was my question.
Yeah, Greg Kersey had it for a while,
Bud
bought it.
can't.
Do what?
Greg Kersey owned it for a while.
Okay.
So,
I have a comment. I go to
yes,
church
sir,
there.
what's your
I
comment?
go to church there, Wednesday nights and Sundays. And we also have kid stuff and everything else. And we utilize that a lot. And there's probably 200 to 300 cars that go out of there on Sunday and probably 50 or 100 cars on Wednesdays that utilize that. And there's a lot of traffic going down 510 road, because I mow the yard too. So there's a lot of traffic that goes down 510 road.
So are you saying that this would be a tremendous safety factor for
No.
those vehicles, or it's going to be a detriment?
It'll be a detriment for getting the cars out of there. And because we have a lot of elderly people that go there. And that's going to be very difficult for them to get out. And we also have, for kids stuff, I mean, it's only once in a while in the summertime. But Falls Creek and things like that, we have charter buses, and that's easier for them to use that than it is to use the turn. Because it's hard to turn a charter bus on a narrow road.
I've seen several semis full of cows turning right there. And Buddy said he can make it wider at that point too. We could lay the gravel. And you're probably right, and I don't disagree with you, but you're talking about 2 days a week versus 5 days a week.
There's somebody at the church every day.
But they're not there at the time we're talking about the traffic problem.
Yeah. Wednesday they are. They're coming in there at 4 o'clock, and that's when everybody's getting off work. So it's gonna be back in the traffic, back up on Elliott Street, the other way.
I don't think there's been a problem going south. Going north.
Going north, well, that's what I'm talking about. The cars going south will back the traffic north.
I don't think we can try it and see. I'd like to see it. If it doesn't, we'll do something else.
My other question is, what's the time frame on the temporary? If we approve it, what would be the time frame? A month, 2 months, 6 months, a year? What would be the time frame?
I think that's something we'd have to kind of decide. I think, I don't want to do anything super short-term that's there and done before it even has time to manifest.
It's gonna take them time to get used to it too.
Well,
That's gonna be a problem.
6 months?
I know when they put a stop sign in, it usually takes about 3 months for them
Yeah.
to figure out a stop sign.
At least go through like a school year.
Maybe-
And I don't disagree with having a limit.
Maybe like a
time zone.
6-month trial period, and,
So,
because if you do a month, it's not enough time.
so again, I'm gonna go back to my original question. If Streets is gonna go out there and put down gravel, how much is this gonna cost?
I don't think a load of gravel is very high.
Where are
How
they
much is
putting
this gonna
gravel?
cost?
think
Have we done a cost estimate before we just?
Are we gonna put gravel, or are we gonna put the concrete blocks up?
No, the blocks that we already have on hand, that's what we would use. The gravel, Charles, to answer your question, I'm estimating probably at the most a load to 2 loads, so based on the last bill we got, you're looking probably $600 total with the
Where are you
price that we
putting
get.
gravel at?
That depends on where Buddy and Mrs. Cox decide. If we run her through the south,
I see
she
what
can go
you're
through the south. There's also a means that we could block that off right past her driveway, and that would allow her to come out the north side of her circle drive.
House right on
She's
the curb.
okay with either, so.
Can we hear from, if it's allowed, from Drew? He's here tonight. I mean,
Drew, would you like to make a comment? Just come on up to the microphone. 5 minutes.
Steve brought up most of what I said about the church, and I don't know if anybody's visited with the church. I let them know, and I don't know if they knew this meeting was going on tonight. But also that intersection it probably would have to be widened and with the kind of dip that it takes, it's kind of hard. I come out sometimes that way going to Walmart, and it's hard to see people coming from the north. So I'm just afraid that you're gonna have more accidents, and, you know, maybe that's your time frame. After 2 accidents, you know, change back, so. But anyway, he brought up most of what I said. Thank you.
I think either way, one of the things that I want to make known is I appreciate the idea that we have, whether we do this or not, however you guys vote on that, I appreciate that we have an idea that's a proactive idea, that we're looking at a troubled area, and that we're having a good wholesome discussion on how to do that. I think this is a great example on how communities should handle situations that have diverse opinions. So I applaud all of you for that, so thank you.
So would there be need of, like, minimal, what is the requirement for signage to warn? Like, do we have to have, like, you know, you see construction zones and stuff like that, you're coming up on a construction zone, do we need to have, like, specific signage so far out?
Yeah, and Buddy's got all that. He's got all those, and he would place that accordingly. I think if you guys do vote, and I'm either way, whatever, I think, we've got those light up marquee signs we could put down there. That just, the reader boards, we've also got the speed sign, the radar sign that we bought, we've got detour signs. We have ample signage. That's all, we have that we have that on hand, it's there. It's just a matter of, I think we would probably start some signage close to Centennial, just after the 17th Street light. And then from the south side, we'd probably put it about the floodgates.
Mayor, I might add, I talked to Commissioner Grossman a couple of times, and he's all for this.
Okay.
He wanted to take the stop sign down a long time ago, and I argued about that. And everybody, I think, agrees the curve's the problem. But I don't know what the answer is to get rid of the curve and not do it this way. Maybe we'll come up with something else. But everybody's aggravated with the curve.
Oh, for sure.
Well, maybe we should, I don't know, 6 months seems like a long time, especially if it affects the church. I mean, especially if that is a big issue for them, maybe 3 months. That gets us into the first quarter of the school year. Typically, church programming on Wednesdays starts then. That kind of gives, people are kind of coming back into church. August's are usually a big month, so maybe like shorten that from 6 months to 3 months, and then talk. I feel like we should reach out to the church, talk to some people in that area after that. If we decide to do this, then
Bruce,
we should shorten it up a
would you be
little bit.
opposed to talking to Joey Dean? He is the lead pastor there. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
No, or Steve can. You know, he goes there, that's fine.
I was trying to get you in there.
I was just gonna say.
But anything we do is gonna be better than what we're doing. In the church, I understand the problem there, but that's a limited time versus the people that's coming from work every day. And that's what I'm trying to get them, where they're not backed up to Pryor Creek Bridge. If this doesn't work in 3 months, we ought to be able to tell in 3 months if it's gonna work. We'll do something else. And somebody else come up with an idea.
Roundabout.
There you go.
Yes. I may be in that.
Popular.
That'll go great. But
I think McBride is going to donate to that roundabout.
I'd like to ask the police chief a question.
Yes.
Has there been any traffic accidents at that intersection since you've been the chief of police?
One or two.
And
Two's
were
all I
they
ever
of
remember.
injury or fatality, or were they minor?
Yeah, it's all minor.
And what was the cause of it, though? Was it the curve or running the stop sign or people not yielding?
The one I know offhand was driver error. I mean, obviously where the curve goes, somebody went and got hit by the car. It's more of a head-on, and Bruce is aware of that one. But it's just like the other accidents, it's mainly driver error on some point.
How many fights they had in driveways?
Do what?
I can tell you about them. It was just a suggestion. I thought maybe it might cure something. It may not. But I'd like to see us try it and see. If it doesn't, we'll go back to where we were.
Are we gonna put a time limit on it?
Sure, I don't care.
What's your recommendation?
3 months.
Well, they seem to think 3 months. I don't care. 3 months would be fine. We can tell them.
Joya, you got anything? You're the only one.
No, I was saying 3 months. We were agreeing on roundabout, but
Oh, gosh.
Okay. So we need to make a recommendation, the street committee go and price a roundabout Find Buddy out there at lunch just driving circles.
Yeah. We can do it with gravel.
You all kind of laugh about the roundabouts, but I'm very serious about that.
I think that's, well, to that
It is
point,
the
I think
best.
it is really the best option.
But I know that that is a very costly thing.
Yeah, you're gonna,
What's the
And it will
estimate on
affect-
that, Terry?
Pardon?
What was the estimate on the roundabout?
There was no, I don't know, we never did give it to the engineer to come up with anything on that.
Well, I can imagine the signal lights are 500,000, what a roundabout's gonna be.
so when I
I doubt
casually,
it's nearly that much.
when I casually talked to Dale with Infrastructure Solutions, he's done these in McAllister and in Wagner and those communities. He said, depending on the circumference of it, which whether it be, whatever, he said, you're gonna be pushing about $1 million.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, but it would
Plus-
be a one-time as opposed to the lights. You have maintenance and upkeep on the lights, whereas around
Right.
that, there's gonna be,
So the other thing that we will have to take into consideration is the pump station that's in that. There is a utility pump station in the middle of that island, so.
Yeah, there would be some, probably some easements and some property that would have to be taken from that intersection, and that would have to be moved, but again, I'm talking about long-term
Correct.
solution for that problem.
And that concrete box you see out there on Elliott, there at 510, that is the main water line coming into Pryor. So I would say that'd be a pretty good move right there.
And that's the thing that Nina was talking about inside that little triangle island,
Yeah.
that main water line there.
Yeah.
But there would be a lot of cost to a roundabout, I agree.
Yeah, you're looking about.
Well, if this works, it'll save us a lot of money. If it doesn't, we'll do something else.
Well, if we're gonna be removing all the lights off Main Street, we'll have the lights.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, take the museum.
Let's do it. Let's pass that one to the EDA.
No, those would be obsolete, you can't reuse.
Historic lights, Terry.
So are we wanting to wait till Bruce or Steve talk to the church, or are we going to, what is?
I think the street committee ought to go talk to them, is who I really believe they ought to.
Well, they're gonna be against it, aren't they?
I don't know.
You got a pretty good idea.
I can't tell you what to do.
They may be willing to try it they may be, I think it's worth conversation just to see what
We want to table this till next council meeting,
I think we should talk to them first,
I
probably.
think so.
Bruce?
I don't care.
Sounds like we do have some questions that need some answered. We have some concerns. Maybe in that time, Charles, we can get a cost estimate on the gravel and things. Why don't we, if you guys are okay with it, change your motion to table till the next council meeting?
Who was it?
I think it was you and Brashear.
Shears or Shropshire?
I'll change to table.
Call for the vote.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Shears.
Yes.
Graybill,
yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Again, thank you for the wholesome discussion. I think, again, good example of what leadership should do when there are different opinions. All right, item 3, discussion and possible action regarding updates at Earl Ward Park, Pryor Creek Golf Course. The Pryor Creek Golf Course, as it's now rebranded, and creating an interim structure for management and operations pertaining to both Earl Ward Park, Pryor Creek Golf Course, and the Earl Ward Park Pro Shop.
Motion.
Second.
I got a motion from Steve and a second from Brashears. As you heard earlier, there's been some changes at the golf course. The Bowmans have resigned, and for purposes of this meeting right now and where things are, we're going to leave that part of the conversation at that they've resigned. Going forward, the plan for the city is not, and has always been, is not to have any disruptions in golf play. That is very profitable golf course. A lot of work and effort has gone into that, not just by the Bowmans, but by all of the employees that have been out there and the work that they've put into that. And so we've had to kind of do some digging and looking to see what we've got to do. So some of I guess what I'm getting at is we have secured enough employees through those that were working for course management systems in the pro shop and those that were employed through the city, whether it's Russell or Chris or the temp employees that are on the course side of things. The employees that were released from course management systems have been brought on to the city account with,
Express.
thank you, Express. And so we'll have to figure out the coding on that going forward. I think Lisa's been working with Express on that yesterday and today. That said, I am going to meet with all of the employees tomorrow at 9:30. Kind of go through and set some ground rules, make sure that the air is clear. My stance always has been and always will be that negotiations are not means for employees to lose their jobs. And so that's why it was important for me to make sure that we have employees there and staff there. We do have a potential opportunity to make a purchase of the remaining goods at the pro shop. Chase and their attorney are looking at that. We'll bring that number to you guys. More than likely, that's something that we're going to do. Chase, you want to chime in?
Nope.
Oh, perfect. That's called cost savings right there.
Green
So
Communications, I expect a smooth transition, I'll put it that way.
yeah, and so we will be looking at that. There's not much there. We went down there yesterday, Chase and I and their attorney, and we sat down to kind of let them know what we wanted. It's pretty much, when you say, Chase, hats and balls, that's about it. It's a couple
shirts, shoes.
Couple shirts is like 5.
Yeah, I think there's some stuff in boxes.
Oh, yeah, the totes, winter stuff. But we did tell them that we wanted that. We wanted a price on the refrigerators, on the coolers, on the pizza oven, everything. So whatever's left. We do know that the register systems are going to be left there. That was one of the concerns that we had. The golf course uses a system called 4UP. That is a web-based system, so we've been in contact with 4UP. They have actually, we did find that was signed by the city in '21, so that is our access, our licensing to that. But we'll go forward with them in the next couple weeks to kind of remove entities on there that don't need to be on there any longer and kind of clean that up. I have administrative rights to that. Because I've got that, I've added Hannah and Darla. And then the other element to that is that in the meantime, because I cannot be down there every day, I need somebody who can go down there and kind of help with scheduling, help kind of keep things going, get things kind of back on track. And I've asked Mike Moore from the rec department to be that floater for the next couple weeks until we can find a solid plan. So Mike also has administrative rights to 4UP. The employees that are there know how to use that system and they know how to run the pro shop. There's a young man named Boomer down there that everybody speaks very highly of. And I spoke with him yesterday. I've spoken with him a few times. He pretty much is the guy that can run that pro shop in the interim for a few days, a few weeks by himself if needed to. He's been there a while. He also knows the automatic scoring software and programs, so he'll be able to take over that. That said, our goal is to get things up and going as fast as we can. We're going to look at what we've got to do to get some ABLE licensing in place. In the meantime, we're researching a lot of options that the ABLE Commission has given us on how we can do that. We thought we had an avenue that would allow us to do it pretty quick, but the communication from the ABLE was not 100% correct. And so when I called that source, he cleared up that what I was told wasn't. I was told that a third-party vendor could hold that license and that this gentleman would be able to do that. And he said, no, I just help people get the license. So that was this afternoon. So we're kind of scrambling there, but we may have an afternoon or a day where the pro shop itself is going to be closed while we get things kind of transitioned into life. But we have plenty of opportunities to golf the rest of the week and going forward. So if you guys can give us a little bit of grace while we make a transition from the Bowmans who had been there for 34 years to those that are taking it over tomorrow. We would appreciate that. That said, I'll open up to any questions, and there are some things that are sensitive right now, so if Chase shuts you down, please be respectful of that.
One comment that I've received, or a comment of concern from some citizens is that, well, if the city's going, because the eventual desire is that we have a Parks and Rec department that this would kind of fall under. They were concerned that funds would start being taken from it, but
Nope.
in my understanding is the funds that are there are made there and stay there.
Correct.
They cannot be pulled out and sent over to our general fund or anything else.
Correct.
So-
Whatever funds are there, and our goal going forward, that's a great comment, thank you. A lot of questions about transparency and clarity with the funds and things. As we move forward, our goal collectively, and I think I'll speak for everybody up here, I'll speak for Chase, I'll speak for Hannah and everybody else. Our goal is to make it as, whatever we do, as transparent as possible so that there's no confusion in how the funds are distributed there. We also want to make sure that as many funds as possible can go back into that golf course to sustain that golf course. You heard Dennis earlier, right now, the golf course is sitting on about $700,000. That has never been the case as long as I can remember. It's very profitable, it's doing great, and we plan to continue that profitability. So, our goal is to make sure that it remains a top-tier experience for every golfer that goes out there. We just might have some hiccups for a few weeks. Any questions?
What is the plan for replacing Dennis's position as the golf course superintendent / golf director and/or a
Yeah.
PGA professional?
Well, first of all, I want to let you know that we've looked, and that is not going to be cheap. The price that we will pay for having a municipal golf course, whether we have a PGA Pro or not, it is not going to be a $50,000 salary. So that said, just know that we're looking for, we will put a posting out. What we may end up doing, we may find somebody that can help us in the interim, that can kind of help Mike out. That would very much be an interim position. If that happens to be what works, then that happens to be what works. But, when RSU switched over from leadership to leadership, they had an interim president. And he didn't retain that position, but he was there for that gap. And that's kind of what we're looking at going forward. We do know that the standard for the industry that we've been finding, and Chase has been digging, and so have I, that a certain level of bonuses is very much the industry standard. I think the problem that we've had in the past, and we've talked about this in abundance, is the lack of clarity in those contracts. I think if we had something and it was visible, simple, and legible, that, a one-pager, this is what it is, and that's our contract, we might find that we have a better opportunity to find somebody that's in a career path that is a shortage right now. There is a shortage on golf pros. Also, whoever we bring in, unless they are certified golf pro, which is going to cost us 6 figures plus, is not going to have that certification, but we would be definitely interested in training somebody or paying somebody to get that certification, which looks like it's about $1,094 a year.
So you guys gave Zach and I the task of kind of figuring out moving forward. I think we're moving forward a little quicker than what we had originally planned. But I'll tell you, whatever the next thing is potentially going to be the highest paid person in Pryor.
Oh, yeah. We're talking over 200 probably.
No.
I don't know about that much, but.
No, it'll probably be close to a base of at least 90 to 100.
I'm thinking Claremore's 244 right now.
The other thing that makes us a little different, so we are a municipal course, so that will change some things. But we don't have to rush on that one right now. What we've got to rush on
I
is.
want to prep you guys because I have a feeling the plan that we come with is going to be a shock when you see the prices, just
So
based off
maybe
what I'm
like-
seeing.
You talking about hiring one?
Yeah, if
What-
that's the route it goes.
Can we ask in the open how much we were paying the last one, all the benefits and extras and cuts, and is that something you can discuss?
I don't have it right now.
I think he was making 75,000.
I can chime into that a little bit. You know, as a city employee, salaries are public record. And I'll use the numbers that I had, right? So when we paid out our bonus last year, we calculated that we got all of the base pay, and that base pay was 80,000. And then we went through, was that last week, Hannah? And I had Darla, who pays out the memberships and the maintenance bonuses, and that total was just shy of 56,000 a year from from June 1st of June 30th of last year to May 15th or something, whatever, it was about a year. And then Lisa pays out some bonuses on some other things as well as, you know, reimbursements for stuff, and that number was just under 30,000. So you can do the math on, yeah. And, you know, in all transparency, part of the situation that we got from the exiting Mr. Bowman was, through his attorney, was a letter requesting $165,000 salary for 2 years to stay. We had said that we would bring that to the council. Obviously, there's no need to now, but at that point, that was what kind of drafted us to go look at what that would be. If it were, then we would say, you know what, that would be a very doable salary, but we would have to pull the bonuses out, no more bonuses. That makes it a little more appealing, right? On a good year, it could be higher than that. On a bad year, it could be a little less. But then we got to talking with Lisa, and then you get into things like retirement payouts. That would more than double the city's contribution to the retirement. That would up those taxes and fees. And so either way, that's irrelevant. We are moving on. That's not something that we have to entertain anymore. But you know, we are, I'm going to say it, and I said it earlier, we are grateful for the Bowmans and their contribution over 34 years, but now we're at snapshot and move forward. We've got to take this golf course and keep it profitable. So
maybe to be proactive when we do our budget, plan on that higher rate.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're going to plan on that. The other thing is, now that the city's kind of taken over, if you will, the pro shop, that opens up those funds to stay on the course a little bit more broad. And so we'll be able to kind of see where those two jive. We still want to keep a definite separation between the course and the pro shop. One of the things that Mike and I talked about today, and we're going to do some digging on, is the possibility of maybe bringing in a bookkeeper to get the records in place down there, get the paperwork lined out, make sure that we have, that all of those things that have been questioned in the past are documented by a bookkeeper and not, you know, not out there so people are going, well, how do we really know that's the number? I'm not insinuating that anything was taking place, but what I am saying is our goal is to help make sure that everybody has a good understanding and a good feeling about what's happening on that golf course and that it's transparent. And I think if we can bring on a bookkeeper who is more or less, say, Mike, like an office manager, if you will, they would handle the daily deposits, counting the till, and those kind of things. That way it takes it away from the other city employees or the golf pro to do that. Something we're looking at. So I think that's about the most of the update that we've got right now. The employees that are out there are excited. We have one that is on workman's comp. He had or not workman's comp, oh my gosh, FMLA. Nope, sorry, Hannah. Oh my gosh.
Holy cow.
He's on FMLA, and I talked to him today, and he's thinking that by the end of the week, he should be back to work. So we'll hope so. Yes, sir.
Just to kind of, so we're transparent and we know as a council members and for the public, there's the golf course pro shop. And of course, later on down the road, I'm assuming that part of this plan is probably to have a contractor be taking that over like the previous, maybe. I assume that's kind of what the plan is.
I think the plan, unless you guys instruct different, that we've talked about is the city taking that over.
Okay.
Not
So,
contract.
so that being said, how many people actually work in are currently starting tomorrow going to be working in the pro shop alone?
Yeah, good question. So right now,
And you said Boomer's going to kind of be in charge of that?
Mike is going to be in
Well,
charge
I
of that,
mean,
but
actually on site.
he's going to be on site, kind of
Yeah.
lead, if you will.
Yeah, the lead.
But here's where we're at. So when all of this started, there were 10 employees employed by A&B Pro
Yeah.
Shop. That number got down to 2 this last week. And I got a hold of a couple of those employees. I did call them directly, and I said, hey, listen, if you are released from duty, then I want you to go straight to Express and be put on the city temp rolls. So yesterday, I got a call. There were 2 that were standing there that said, hi, we're at Express and we got released, so we're here to do what you said. And we immediately did that. And then a little bit later in the day, we had another one come in. So that one would be a kind of the beverage cart and work that. So that would give us 4 in the pro shop. And then I don't recall exactly how many temps we have on the field, but I know we have 2 full-time employees, Russ and Chris. And then I think it's 4, don't hold me to that, but I think there's 4 temps out working the course.
2 full-time, 4 temps.
Yes.
Actually taking care of the course.
Yes.
And keeping the grounds
Yes.
up to
And
snuff.
those are all there. The ones that were outside a month ago are all there.
But one of those full-time is on medical leave right now.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I think what we'll look at going forward is how we need to figure out scheduling, since that's not 10 anymore, it's down to 4. And we'll ultimately give Mike some direction on how many to bring in and get it back up to staff so that we can perform what's there. Also, we're looking at some of the contracts, if you understand anything about retail, you know that we don't work on a system where the council's going to be up here arguing over red and blue shirts. We're not going to do that. In retail, what they'll do is they'll work based on credits and credit limits. We'll go to a vendor and they'll give us a credit limit, and we would allow that to operate within those credit limits on what they need to stock the store. And so things like Love's Bottling, hopefully this week we can get that account transferred over. They'll come and they'll stock it, they'll manage it. We also, on that 4UP, we know who all of the previous vendors were. It gives us those contacts, and so we can call them back and say, hey, set the account up under the city and let's get back at it. And hopefully we can get that. We've also discussed the possibility of kind of working on the pro shop itself and the layout and kind of doing a remodel on it if we need to. There's a lot of not really well-utilized space. And it's pretty crammed, and we've got some ideas that we've kind of thrown around on how to make that a little more amenable, a little more usable, and more productive so that it might be more profitable. And in doing that, that'll save us from having to build a whole new center right away. So I think, as we've kind of been throwing around some ideas over the last, couple weeks, we'll be bringing those to the council, or we will recommend to the park board to recommend them to the council, whatever those may be, right? That's kind of where we're at. Any
Question.
Yes,
I've
sir.
got 2 more questions. Go ahead. Real quick. Number 1 is on the employees in the pro shop, and they're all going to be under the temp agency right now?
Yes.
Okay. Is
My
the
intent
pay
is to
gonna-
bring one of them, possibly one, on as a city employee.
Are they getting the same pay that they got with the other contractor?
Those pays were kind of all over the board, and so we are going to bring them all in at the same pay.
So, I mean, are we raising the pay?
About 50 cents.
Do we need to approve that to bring them on as temps?
Um,
And I can see where that could fall under the agenda item tonight because it's management of the golf
Do we
course.
need to, or can we just agree that we need to get that thing back up to staff?
Well, it's on the agenda, you might as well approve it. It's clearly.
I mean, I don't have a problem either way. If you guys
That way
wanna
we
say,
can get it done and
just
press on.
give us the autonomy to get that back within the confines of the budget, I think that would be the appropriate, and that would allow Mike to kind of give some assessments over the next couple weeks of what we need. We can call and say, hey, send us 2 more.
How many hours a day approximately would that be open?
They've been 7 to 7.
Really? So we're talking 12 hours a day?
Every day.
Every day, which is another thing that we talked about. You know, we do have some golf courses that close like on Mondays. That would be something that I would ask you guys to kind of think about, would give the golf course employees an opportunity to kind of refresh. If we had one day that was kind of closed and there for them to get a lot of maintenance things done and whatever, it would also allow, just a thought. I'm not suggesting we do it, it's just a thought.
That's something.
And my last question is,
Yeah.
have you and/or Chase sat down with the park board, or at least the park board chair, to give them full plan of?
Everything I've shared with you guys today, I have shared with Keith, who's the park chair. And then I sent an email out to everybody, including Autumn, who is still on that park board email list. Yes.
I spoke with Keith today also.
And unless it happened after like 1 o'clock, then he's aware of everything. So,
I guess that was the one thing I wanted to make sure that I think it's been pretty clear, we did not do a great job up front on that communication. And so moving forward,
Yep.
we definitely need to do that, but we also need to, as I've had lots of conversations with, and I've told you, I've had a lot of conversation with a lot of park board members, what are we going to, I think they would like to have some conversation and say in some of these things and how this moves forward, especially with who this next person might be and how this is. So
Right.
what are we going to do to make sure that they can bring their conversation, have that conversation with them and bring that, because I know that is something
correct.
that if we have this board, that's what their role is, I feel like, and I think they think that's their role. So to have those discussions to bring to the council and have their recommendations come. So what does that look like?
So right now, what that looks like is I sent an email out after I talked to Keith Shelby today. Basically, well, I'll just read the email. Need for a meeting. I just said I would like to schedule a special meeting to update everyone on the golf course status. Along with that, I would like to discuss our future focus and the plans for the pro shop and course. So several of them have responded back saying affirmative, they get it. So at this point, it's letting them know that they're going to have a special meeting sooner than later. Tonight's kind of a little different deal since we got a resignation here. And we've got to do some of these updates, but I do want to make sure that communication that we told them we would give them is in place. So.
And then that meeting then will begin the discussions of how to move forward with
A long-term plan. Immediate plan is, I'm going to meet with them tomorrow. Mike's going to meet out there with me. He'll kind of float until we have a better system in place.
This also, just so everyone knows how fast this developed, we didn't know this was happening until noon yesterday. Zach and I went out and had a meeting, so everything we're telling you is how fast this has moved.
Well, it's been crazy. I left for my 2-week trip with my son getting married thinking, okay, negotiations, great, here we go, got the 90 days, and came back yesterday and got a phone call immediately, and I was just, it was kind of.
She had literally just gotten in her car to head back to Pryor.
I had just gotten back from Europe.
So.
Yeah, no, that was really fast, because
Yes,
I
sir.
was not.
Zach's been, all of it, in fact, your questions in particular, that was all Zach working between about 1:30 yesterday and right now, for him to be able to answer that with the employees, so it's developing.
Did you get both of yours out?
Pardon?
Did you get both of yours? Did you get yours out?
My question?
Yeah, did you get it? He gave 2, now you, then we'll go back?
No, I've got it. I'm
Yeah, go for it. Do
3
it.
questions. You got one more?
But just so, Lori, so you know, and the rest of the council knows, and I have brought this up to at least one park board member, and I'm not meaning this in any, hopefully not in any kind of negative way, but so everybody knows, if you haven't read the city code book, Section 7-4-2, dealing with the park board duties, it says the park board shall serve as an advisory board, and I respect that totally, for the purpose of assisting the mayor and the council in the operations of the parks. So some dialogue on that is good. But it goes on to say that the control of the operations of the parks and all public grounds of the city shall remain with the mayor and the council. And then it goes on in the last sentence that all employees in park-related positions shall be hired by the city of Pryor Creek and shall be under the supervision of the mayor and the city council and subject to disciplinary action of the same. So my point for bringing that up is for clarity, that's what our city ordinance and code book says.
Sure, and I get that and hear that, but then I think their thought is, well, then why do we even have a park board?
Yes.
I mean, right, I hear that.
Here's where,
I hear that.
here's where I think they're really helpful, park board and the other ones that are advisory. A really good example of it was when you guys were deciding golf carts. The park board is able to hold a 4-hour meeting arguing over golf carts, when by the time it gets to you guys get to just argue over for 1 hour instead of a total of 5 hours in one meeting. But that's where I think they're really useful, is they can get a lot of the kinks out, so hopefully by the time they make a recommendation, it cuts down on your time over whatever the issue is.
And I fully respect that as the advisory board, because they know more about, they do the homework and then present it to us.
Exactly.
Right, which we appreciate, but I think it's just a little rough right now. And I think it's
For sure.
fairly understandable why.
Thank you. Bruce?
Now, do we have to hire a golf pro, or can we hire a manager and at some point send him to school or educate and then become a golf pro?
If you want my opinion, I think I would prefer to do it that way. I would prefer to not hire, now, when the time comes and the applications, whatever come in, whatever, but my thought is, I think we would be better to have somebody come in that is not a pro, that is, I don't want to say too much, it might put us in a sticky situation, but I do think, my opinion is, I'd like to have somebody that we bring in and we mold them to what we want them to be.
And we don't know that there's, once applications start, that you don't have an old golf pro out there who wants to go to work and not be $400,000 a year. You don't know that's not gonna happen either, so
Right.
there's lots of things open. But that was my question, does he have to be a golf pro?
No.
Have that
No.
position?
We would have to rewrite our
Job description.
Let me just say this,
Change that.
the amount that we're looking at right now, would almost triple if we brought in a pro
I
right
understand that,
now.
but I think part of that job description was they had to be a golf pro.
Yeah. And
had to have certain licensing.
right, and we can rewrite that, and
How
again,
many certifications do we need to have out there? I know there has to be a golf pro, but then there has to be some certification for
chemicals.
groundskeeping and
Chemicals is what I was
and
gonna say is the main thing.
There's 3 or 4.
Never know, Tiger might put in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, chemicals, I think, is the main thing.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
You're basically gonna need somebody who's got a little bit of management understanding, then agro understanding, and then, this is your guys' call, not mine, but I think
Yeah.
as far as their playing ability is probably the least of the
Right.
pro level
Right.
things that are concerning for what we need. But you certainly want someone out there that can give lessons also.
Keeping those grounds up is gonna be the main focus.
Yeah, I think maybe a groundskeeper educated license is more worried about than a golf pro.
Well, and I think one thing we need to remember is let's give 100% credit to the crew that is out there now that is staying.
Yeah.
You know,
Does the assistant not already have some of those certifications?
well, there's a definite knowledge that's out there right now that is actually the hands-on labor that is the day-to-day. And I can tell you right now, we're retaining those people, and it's my goal to do whatever it takes to make sure that we instill confidence in them, that their job is secure.
Can we get them certified?
We can do whatever the heck we want.
Good.
We can do whatever we want.
So,
So what will that posting look like then as we're applying? I mean, is that something you'll have conversation, I guess, with the park board and with others?
I don't think we're
You
far
two?
enough in to know the details.
Didn't even
Well,
know.
that's what I was
don't
about to
even-
say. I mean,
It's so
literally,
fast.
yesterday, to your point, this happened around lunchtime.
Yeah.
And we are sitting here tonight reinventing the entire concept.
Yeah. As
We need
of-
to shut it down tonight,
Yeah.
give the mayor and Chase the authority that we previously gave them to figure this out and come back to us. We're literally
Well,
in the weeds, pun intended, trying to figure out, what
Well,
do we do?
and that brings my question, what needs to be added to the motion as far as the whole hiring thing, so we can at least keep things level as we can right now?
I don't even think anything right now, because I don't think we know
I think,
enough.
But basically, if we voted yes with our motion, would that give you enough to be
I
able to
would
bring these
recommend
guys
we-
in and all that?
When
I
you
would,
got,
I would recommend we give the mayor the emergency spending authority to keep that pro shop up and operating as it has historically been. And whatever that means, however he hires the people, whatever wage he brings them in, and then we will come in as the council
Make adjustments.
and make adjustments as needed.
Okay.
But
Hey,
we have
Charles?
got to figure, what?
Charles, I agree with you.
Wow, what do you think about that?
So can
Well,
that's about as crazy as Bruce and I.
Yeah, it's getting really bad, isn't it?
All right,
is there anything else we
no,
call for the vote?
I think,
So do we need a?
Who had the
motion
motion?
to
Need
say
to
that?
amend the
Okay,
motion.
here's
None.
how I have it. Brown and Brashears, but then Trammell just made his recommendation, and Lamar said yes. So,
I will change mine to what Charles just said.
Give
And
the
I will
mayor
amend,
emergency spending authority.
yes.
and I will amend my second.
would you guys like me to keep you updated?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well,
That's what I was saying.
well, but what I'm saying is, when I do I want to be very clear for the public and those that are listening, I know the answer to that already. When I do emergency purchases, and something happens that I need to do it before we can bring it to a council or whatever, I typically send, under Chase's direction, I send an individually to each council member with the words, "Do not reply," just so that they have an update of, here's what was done. Now, I can do that. I have no problem giving a weekly update, but I also have no problem doing it in a council meeting. However you want that, I'm willing to do it. But I do think that the precedence right now is on, we've got something on our hands that we've got to deal with pretty quick. And to
well, and I
come
think
every
it
week.
qualifies as an emergency because it's protecting property out there as well.
And we can do this out of golf course funds, not out of general fund, right?
Yes.
Oh, it all has to be out of the enterprise fund.
Yes, that doesn't change. The golf course will not ever, as long as I'm sitting in this seat, receive general fund unless some kind of catastrophe happens and we are instructed that's how it has to be. And I don't see that
The
being.
mayor's gonna keep the balls flying, and he's gonna keep the pro shop selling
Beer.
merchandise.
Well, okay, Choya, you bring up a good thing. I wanna, and I don't mean to go back on this. I don't wanna spend a lot of time on this one. But what I do wanna address is, as we look at the liquor sales, one of the things that I was instructed today through these able conversations is that we have a couple options. One, we can have a trust of the city itself cannot hold the liquor license. We cannot. But a trust of the city can. That means, and I've talked with Adam about this. Yeah.
All eyes are on Adam.
Well, we've talked about this, and there's been a lot of discussion about how to move forward in case what happened. And so the city can't hold that license.
Right.
I think that's really why we saw the statement that the city has no desire to be in the retail business, is because we can't hold that liquor license, and everybody that golfs knows that that's a pretty hefty part of golfing is having an adult drink. That said, the trust can hold that license. The EDTA would be able to hold that license, but every member of that EDTA would have to sign that. Now, one of the things that they're doing a little research on for me, and Chase, if you know the answer, jump right in, but I'm an ex officio member of that trust. I cannot sign that. The trust cannot be that one.
Right.
So I'm going to say, let's get rid of that one. The other one is that we could hire a caterer to come in, but what I was told today, that most of those caterers in Tulsa that do that expect 95% of the profits from the pro shop. That would not leave us funds to pay the staff. The other is, this is where I called this gentleman out of Bartlesville, who I was told by the Able Commission would be able to carry that license for others. Instead, he doesn't carry it, he just helps them get it. He said that one of the things you could do is you could have a business come in and they would hold that. So, maybe taking some time to visit with some of our local liquor stores or whatever, or somebody local. And then what happens is, basically it would be there would be a contract between us and them that says they would stock it, they would manage it, they would have that license, just like every other liquor store in the world. We could sell it if the people that are selling it are permitted, correct? We had to talk about that last night, Lori and I. But at the same token, then they would carry that, and then they would collect all of the revenues, and then they would have to, in that contract, agree to give us back our share, or give it to the pro shop back. So there are options, and I think that's probably gonna be the one that I'm gonna look more at entertaining, is finding somebody local. We've talked around the concept of maybe like a local microbrewery putting in their stuff down there and they carry it. But again, we just have to have those conversations, and I think that that's gonna be the most amicable way for us to move forward, is to find a business that can hold that license and stock and manage that alcohol inventory. Comments?
Keep in mind that your rec center is already doing similar things. They sell merchandise, they sell drinks at the rec center, and those revenues then are deposited into the city's account. So where the city has not been seeing any revenue from the golf for food and beverage sales, for equipment sales, the city would now recognize this revenue that's coming in. And that's been going to another entity, but now
It comes to the golf course.
it would be going in to the golf course revenue account.
To help pay the wages and stuff that
To
people
help
work
pay
at.
salaries, yes, all of that.
Okay.
So welcome to the hospitality business.
All right. Further discussion on that?
Mayor, thank you very much for being transparent and talking to us about everything you know and what's going on and what the plan is for, and answering questions. Thank you.
I think we're pretty organized for what happened 24 hours ago.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Any further comments on that before we move on?
I think we can call for the vote if we're ready.
Say it.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Brashear.
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Mike, I'll see you at 9:30.
We didn't even ask you if that was like okay with you.
We've talked.
I mean, I think,
Now, the park board has 4 hours out
And,
of that 5 to
and
argue.
while we're going back to the next section of this, I will say that I did meet with Mike's employees today to tell them what that would look like with him floating, and what the expectations of them would be while he's kind of going back and forth. So I think we're good. All right, item 6, the city attorney's report. We have no action on item A, B, or C. That the appeal was not filed, and there's absolutely nothing we can do on that. Item D, discussion and possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $10,000 to Crow and Dunlevy, a professional corporation, for one half of the arbitration cost for FOP Lodge 116 and Bennett versus City of Pryor Creek from attorney miscellaneous legal expenses account 02-211-5341.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Brown and a second from Brashears.
This is the half of the arbitrator fee. The total was 20. FOP's already paid theirs.
All right.
Couldn't help but notice, it was hourly billing and it ended up being directly on a zero.
Pretty wild, isn't it?
Never trust an attorney.
Never
Unless
trust
it's,
one,
unless
never
it's
trust one
named.
of the rounds.
Right. All right. Call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Brashears,
Yes.
Graybill,
yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
All right, item E, possible executive session pursuant to the Oklahoma Open Meetings Act for the purpose of confidential communications with the attorney regarding FOP number 116 FLSA settlement demand letter.
Motion.
Second.
Motion from Graybill and a second from Brown. Call for the vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Raybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
We will return.
tell some, that's what I'm telling them. I don't know what.
Do it. All right. Item F, consider resuming regular session. No action taken during executive session.
Motion.
move.
I got a motion from Brown and a second from Brashears. Call for the vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Okay. Discussion and possible action based on executive session pursuant to the Oklahoma Open Meetings Act for the purpose of confidential communication with attorney regarding FOP number 116 FLSA settlement demand letter.
Mayor, make a motion of no action.
Okay, got a motion for no action from Brashears.
Second.
Second from, who was it? Terry, do you have it?
Yes.
Okay, Terry. Call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Okay. Committee reports, budget and personnel.
Tuesday.
14th, I think.
I won't be here.
I think it is a 4th.
7:14.
I
Oh,
will-
it'll be me and you then.
All right.
Well, I'm the alternate, I can.
There you
show.
go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Good job.
Okay. Street and maintenance.
The Tuesday, the 28th.
I won't be here on that one.
I would ask that in that meeting you add the Mabel Clayton flooding to your discussion.
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
Yes.
I won't be here for that, so you'll.
Okay, street.
O and I.
What's the date?
As needed.
Maybe we can watch that one go away someday. Unforeseeable business, I have none. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Motion from Bashir,
Second.
second from Brown. Call for the vote.
Don't wanna stay?
Rushiers,
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Okay. We will call to order the Pryor Public Works Authority. And I need a motion to approve the minutes of June 16th,
No.
26th meeting. I have a motion from Graybill and a second from Brown.
It's beat me.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Approve claims for purchase orders for the PPWA through July 7th, 2026.
So move.
Motion from Brashears,
Second.
second from Bradshaw. Call for the vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
I do a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Motion from Brashears and a second from Brown. Call for the vote.
Brown,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Graybill,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Adjourned.